That's me with the legendary Mickey Mantle back in '94. And that's Dennis Rodman right after the Bulls won their third consecutive title. There's the Say Hey Kid Willie Mays and the late great Chicago Bear Walter Payton. The all-time hit king Pete Rose, and that's Bulls superstar Scottie Pippen. There's the legendary Richard Petty and his son Kyle, and me spending time with Mr. October Reggie Jackson, all-time NBA scoring leader Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You'll know the splendid splinter Ted Williams, and Jim Brown, one of the greatest running backs in NFL history. Me with home run champion Hank Aaron, that superstar outfielder Ken Griffey Jr., and finally, strikeout and no-hit king Nolan Ryan. I think my energy level stays consistent all the time. I do the right background information so the athlete is able to become themselves more on camera. And I think my general knowledge from all sports, and then specifically on sports, comes through very well.
That's not the only bonds in sports. I understand your sister Rosie was an Olympic hurdler back in Tokyo in '64. Is that right?
Well, yeah, we've been very blessed as a family. My brother played, my older brother signed professional with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wasn't it Robert?
Robert Bonds, yes. And my sister ran in the Olympics in Tokyo, and of course I played baseball.
All the other names you hear, the Twos and many of the other cast of characters with the Raiders. What was it about Al Davis that brought players like that together? Jack Tatum, the Assassin, Skip Thomas, and crew.
I don't know. It's a unique situation. The 70s of all the characters there, and the characters basically started at the top.
The energy level is exciting. You're part of the event. The people around you are all part of the event. Then you can actually bring that to the viewer a lot better than you normally would if you were just in studio doing a show. All right, back we are. Joe Girardi with us, Brian Collard along the way here live from Legends Field in Tampa, spring training home of the World Series champion New York Yankees. I'm Brian Collard. Once again, welcome to the show, a special edition of Sports Central. Good evening, everyone, and welcome live here to Orlando, Florida. It's the Universal Studios City Walk. Joining us in just moments here live on Shopping at Victory Lane, Jeff Gordon will be with us.
It's Brian Collard. He's standing by on the field with some final pregame thoughts.
Thank you, Brian. With the anonymity that surrounds players and coaches here in Arena Ball with all 10 teams, there's one team that sits high atop with notables, and that's tonight's Miami Hooters. They feature an array of former NFL stars. We are being rained upon, a ton and a half of confetti coming down from many of the 13 buildings here in Times Square. What a spectacle it was, the fireworks going on. There's nothing like it. You can just feel the excitement in the air of the over 500,000 people here, and of course the millions more watching around the world. The confetti just keeps coming down. The balloons are rising high above Times Square here, and this isn't going to end anytime soon as we usher in even more time zones across the United States.
And we'll be back to the Target Center in just a moment.
Thanks, gentlemen. Brian Collard here at the NBA store in New York with an opportunity to celebrate an incredible performance tonight by Shaquille O'Neal on TNT. Tonight's Dutch boy, big player in the paint. He's Shaquille O'Neal as he dominated the Minnesota Timberwolves. 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 14 of 26 from the field. Hi, I'm Brian Collard, and this is Fox Sports Source, the show that combines history-making sports news with exclusive collectibles and memorabilia. This week's big story is the 3000 Hit Club. Both Wade Boggs and Tony Gwynn gained admission to this elite group in the same week, the first time this has happened in Major League Baseball history. Fox Sports Source caught up with Wade at Tropicana Field during his quest, and I asked him, what's it like reaching this milestone?
Well, it's the pinnacle of all great hitters.
Well, I like to rely initially on my general knowledge of the athlete himself, the team they play on, and their sport. And then I like to do some research that, a piece of information that may not be general knowledge to the audience that's going to be listening. That always makes a better interview for the athlete and for the folks that are watching at home. I know you spent your time at NC State. You actually went there and on a different type of scholarship and played, 3 different sports your freshman season?
How'd you know that?
Oh, yeah, we remember.
One of the reasons coming out of high school, I was at New Hanover High School in Wilmington.
Right.
Of course, you know Michael Jordan came from Wilmington, North Carolina. Sonny Jordan.
Sure, I guess you went to the high school you went to.
That's right.
You've never seen so many people, and a lot of them recognize your face, too.
They recognize you, too, in that left guard. Because that great year you had in '71, we got to go back to that MVP and Cy Young in the same season. It's going to be a great memory for you, Vida. That was the Negroes that had the Emery board.
Negroes, yeah, but they're the one in his brother, so it must have worked for him.
That's right.
Yeah, I never used that kind.
What did you and Jimmy use?
Jim, he got me in all kind of trouble.
Wait, what's under his hat? Wait a minute. There's something slippery under there.
No, I got the tag still on my head. I know what you're talking about. My tag. That's the style.
That is the style.
Right.
Here we are at famed Legends Field in Tampa, Florida, the spring training home of the world champion New York Yankees, getting ready for the brand new Major League Baseball season, the first of the new century. I hope you enjoyed a preview of these experiences I've had with these legendary athletes and the excitement of these live events. For more information, contact me via email at brycallenterprise@aol.com or by phone at 727-787-9577 or write to 334 East Lake Road, Suite 252, Palm Harbor, Florida 34685. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Collard.